Welcome to the Metal Voice. Today on the show, Metal Church's new album, 11.
Get ready for the ride. We're going down to hell tonight, so strap yourself inside. There's a glaring contradiction in your world that's made of glass. Something small can shatter it and nail you to the past. The road beneath your wheels, the madness that you feel. Oh, you will pay with your life.
On the show today, Mr. Giles Lavery, lead vocalist of Dragon's Claw, also the manager of the Graham Bonnet Band, who together with the Metal Voice, we will be doing a documentary tour diary. Stay tuned. It will be available on the Metal Voices channel. Well, Giles, tell us what you thought about Metal Church's new album, 11.
First things first, I'm a huge Mike Howe fan. It's great to have Mike back in the band. It's something that a lot of people didn't thought was ever going to happen. He disappeared from the scene totally, utterly and completely since 1994, 1995 after the Hanging in the Balance era. So, is the new Metal Church album with Mike any good? Okay, early days, only listened to it a few times, but it sounds great. Does it sound like the old Metal Church with Mike Howe? Not really. It sounds to me a lot like the last 3 or 4 Metal Church albums that had Ronnie Monroe on vocals, which poses to me a little bit of a problem. Not necessarily because those records were bad, but they just weren't as strong as the classic stuff. And when you bring back a singer from the classic era, you are hoping and expecting it to sound like the classic era. This just sounds more like a continuation. As I said, it's early days. I don't feel the songs are quite as strong as they should be. It's a very good album, but it's still Metal Church, post 2003. It's that era of Metal Church. It sounds like that era of Metal Church. It's that type of songwriting, but with Mike on vocals. Still, nevertheless, a very good album. Repeated listens will reveal more, but my initial early impressions are that it does not instantly take us back to Hanging in the Balance, The Human Factor, or Blessing in Disguise. It's more of a continuation of where they were at recently with the addition of Mike back on vocals. It certainly sounds like there's a lot of life in this record, something that is going to be more rewarding on repeated listens. So right now I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. What do you think, Jimmy?
Well, thanks for the review, Giles. Yes, Mike Howe is back in Metal Church. If you remember correctly, he was the guy who sang on Blessing in Disguise, one of the band's highest charting albums. The album gave us such hits as Fake Healer and Badlands. So what did I think of the album overall? Well, it's a very Doom-like album. It's got a nice cool riffs. It's haunting, it's creepy at times, it's very diverse. Mike Howe his voice is just as strong as ever. But I gotta say, the album comes in at very good. And of course there's excellent, but this album is very good. And the reason why it's not excellent is because, I don't know, I feel that it's missing those little bit of those transitions, between the verse and the chorus, or maybe the chorus between the solo or the ending of the song. Those little riffs, those little drum fills, maybe a scream by the vocalist. These are the tiny transitions that make a song sound more organic. And usually a band that plays thousands of hours together has those tiny transitions that make the song overall that much more, better. Well, even though those transitions are missing and it sometimes sounds very mechanical and robotic, the album is very good. I mean, Metal Church fans will be very pleased, and so will heavy metal fans in general. Let me just go through a couple of tracks here. Reset, everybody knows, great song. No Tomorrow, very same in the sound of Reset. And like Giles pointed out, this is not a return to the classic metal church sound, you know, Blessing in Disguise era we'll call it. This is more of a progression from their last album. But of course, with the addition of Mike Howe, who brings it to another level. And the thing I love about Mike Howe is, back in the day, not only did he have such a great voice, his tone, the tone of his voice, differentiated metal church from the other metal bands at the time. I don't know, that's something I always liked. And also he always brought in, the lyrics were more interesting because they're more political and social based. Some cool tracks, Signal Path, probably the best song on the album. Very melodic, very radio friendly, probably the most memorable track of the album. Sky Falls In, a very nice song, starts off with a blues riff. It Waits, a very Black Sabbath song, you know, a very creepy, haunting verse, and then it just builds up at the end, very, you know, moves much more faster. And Shadow, I like that song because it's original, it's very unique. Overall, like I said, this album is really good. 8 out of 10 for me. I know Giles gave it a 7 out of 10. So we can average it out to 7.5 out of 10. But a must buy. Pick it up. If you're a metal church fan or just you're a heavy metal fan, you will definitely enjoy this album. Also, make sure to watch the Metal Voices channel for the Graham Bonnet tour documentary, The Diary, only on the Metal Voice.